Hello YouTube family, I am back. I hope you're well, I hope you've been fantastic, and I pray that you've been able to move through whatever hardships and tests and lessons and stretchinesses that you've been experiencing recently with ease and grace. And this is just a reminder for you that if you are presented with any hardships and if times are rough and tough for you right now, just know that you're strong enough to move through it and overcome it. Really choose to look at the current situation that you are growing through from a place of objectivity and from a place of power. So instead of, why is this happening to me? It gets to be, okay, so why is this happening to me? What is this teaching me? What lesson is this? And how is this guiding me back to my power and strengthening my power? Just know that you have this and you are powerful enough to move through this and overcome it. I've been on a bit of a hiatus for a while because myself personally, I've been going through and growing through my own shifts and tests and initiations that kind of threw me a bit off balance with various things in my business and the way in which I desire and choose to show up. And now I'm getting myself back on track. I've put myself a plan. I plan to be posting on YouTube 3 times a week, and I plan to be going live on YouTube, I think twice a week now. I'm going live on all of my platforms. So if you're not following me on all of my platforms, I highly encourage you to. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, because I'm going to be going live on every single one of them, and a different one every single day. So they're all going to bring different values. They're not going to be the same. And yeah, YouTube I'm going to be even more active on. And I also have a free Facebook group as well that I go live in there with different trainings to support you as well. So I'm here, I'm around. That's a kite, honey. That's a kite. So my dog's, there's a kite, it's kite season. I don't know if you can see it. You see it over there? It just made some noise, and Polly's like, "Arrow!" That's Polly. Meet Polly. So I have a beautiful doggie. Come and jump up. Come and say hello. Come and say hello. She's such an amazing protector. Come here. Come and say hello. You're going to jump up there. She's such an amazing protector and guard dog, and she's so beautiful. I have a dog and 3 cats, and they're just absolutely wonderful. I'm so grateful for them. So, yeah. I've set myself a plan. I've said to myself, this is what I'm doing, this is what we're doing, this is how we're moving, this is how we're grooving. I'm really, really intent and committed to expanding and supporting you in all of the ways that I can. And I explained this on a couple of my lives actually that I did recently as to what I've been going through since I've been here in Bali, and maybe I'll do a long form video or share it on the live that I'm doing tonight on YouTube. Maybe I'll do that, yeah, to give you some insight on YouTube too. Yeah, I'll do that. So let's get into this particular subject. If you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and please like and please comment. I really love to engage, so I will see your comments and I will respond. So please let me know what you're getting from this. Let me know what you're appreciating. Let me know if you've got any questions off of something that I've said. Maybe something's like, oh yeah, that really, but then I've got this question and then I've got this question. And if you have questions, then please feel free, because yeah, some of the things that I say or some of my language, you might not be there yet, and that's okay, because we're all at our own journeys. And what's important is that if you don't necessarily understand, then what you get to do is you get to ask questions, because that's how you learn and that's how you grow and that's how you essentially continue to level up, is continuing to be curious and continuing to ask questions and continuing to keep yourself open. There are things that I will say that you may not necessarily vibe and jive with. That's okay, just leave it and carry on and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That's the beauty of going through this journey, is by doing that we then get to find our own voice and find our own message and really work out, okay, well, what's for me and what's not for me. Because what I share is my truth. What I share is my experience. What I share is my perspective. It's not the be all and end all. There's 8 billion different truths on this planet. There is not just my truth. So if you don't resonate with everything I say, that's cool. That's great. You don't have to. However, there are going to be things within my videos that are going to support you. So please keep yourself open, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. So I've created a list, and in this list, I'm not going to pick every day. I'm putting it into a random generator that picks for me as to what I'm going to be speaking about on said days, because that just makes my life so much easier. And today, the subject came out of the more valuable you get, the more money you make. Now, typically, we are taught to trade our time for money, and by doing that, gets us in this perpetual state of struggle. And the reason being is because we only have a finite amount of time. Time is our most valuable resource. So when we're trading our time for money for companies, salaries, people that deem us to be worthy of this amount of money, then we're limiting the amount of money that we're able to make. And investors and entrepreneurs see this, and they see that it really doesn't make sense. And this is why the majority of the collective are struggling so much right now, is because of the way that they have been trained and conditioned. And I say this objectively, this is without judgment, this is simply the way that it is, okay? Here's Ari, that's my old bird. She's got no teeth, she's amazing, I love her so much. So, it's not our fault. This is the way that we've been trained and conditioned, and this is objective evaluation. I'm a reflector in the human design, so when I look at things objectively without judgment. I don't judge, I don't see the point, because we're all different and we all have our own reasonings and we all just want to be happy, right? And I like to zoom out of situations and see, and I've also got the left angle cross of refinement as well. So I'm very good at evaluating, being a reflector, and also refining things to best suit myself or others that I work with when I see the whole situation. So throughout my journey, I've looked and I've seen, and through the system and through school and through all of that, we're trained and conditioned that success is to get a high paying job, go to school, go to college, do this, get a high paying job, then get a mortgage, then get married, and all of that stuff. And whose idea of success is that? Because I know certainly that wasn't my idea of success, yet that was programmed into me. And for a long while, this was the route that I was following. And I was working in a corporate banking company in that structure, selling my soul for a salary, unhappy as fuck. And it just was a shit show. It wasn't good. And I know so many people are going through this because of the way that we have been trained and conditioned. Now, investors and entrepreneurs, they're not on that vibe, right? And they know that if they're working in a job, trading their time for money, there's only a finite amount of money, and plus, working in a job for 40 hours a week, it doesn't really give you much freedom, right? So when it comes to the more value you have, the more money you make, this is a way in which we are able to leverage the skills and the resources that we innately have within us, the talents that we have, because we all have our own unique power within us. We all have our own unique reasonings as to why we've come to this planet. We all have our own unique perspective. We all have our own unique ways of seeing the world. We all have our own unique ways of approaching things and our talents and capabilities. Something that would take me 10 minutes could possibly take you a week, right? And this is how we're able to leverage our value for money, because why would someone not want to pay me money to get something done in 10 minutes for them that would take them 1 week's worth of time for them? And it's really thinking about, okay, well, how much is my time worth as to what I'm going to invest in, and being able to do all that stuff, right? This is why outsourcing is so very important to save our time, which is a subject that we could talk about on another video, I guess. Now, when it comes to there's Eric! I haven't seen Eric in a few days. Yay! I'm so happy. I got worried about him. Eric's my boy. I have 3 girls and a boy. Lilu's not around at the moment, but you've met two of the girls already, and I have a boy as well. He's coming. I'll show you if he comes this way. Oh, I'm so happy he's home. I love Eric. He's so great. They're all so great. He's such a dude. He's such a dude. So where was I? With the value that we have, when we notice that we're really good at things, we can leverage that value. And there's various different ways in this day and age that we can leverage it. We can use automation to leverage it, and then we can also, of course, teach others, and we can duplicate that to leverage it. And essentially, the more value that we have within us, and the more we're able to expand on our talents and our skills, and also learn new skills, and also learn new ways to communicate and effectively share the value it is that we have inside of us, and also expand on that value. So for instance, if you're very interested in a certain subject, really learning about that subject so you know about that subject, so you're able to teach that subject to people that want to be taught quickly, so they don't have to spend hours and hours and hours in a book or doing research or all of that stuff, right? And by doing this and by putting the time in to expand on the wealth of knowledge and the value and the life experience that you have within you, to ultimately be able to teach people and mentor people and guide people, this is how you're able to leverage that value that you have within you, and to make more money, and to essentially be able to design your life in the way that you want to, rather than trading your time for money in a menial job that doesn't allow you to fulfill any purposes or passions or your heart's calling, and finding something that, you know what, you really enjoy doing, you really enjoy learning about, you really enjoy diving deep into, and then you really enjoy sharing that. You really enjoy talking about it. It's like when you're talking, it just flows out of you and it doesn't stop, and you can do this and do this and do this forever. What kind of things do you talk about with your friends and with your family that's like, I'm so excited, and I really like talking about this, and I can just continue and don't stop, and it's just like, bleh. Those are the kinds of things that you really want to start thinking about monetizing on. And if you have no idea as to how you're going to be able to monetize on it, then get in contact with me, because I teach people how to monetize on themselves and their passions and their purpose with a high-ticket online business model that's scalable and duplicable and centered around people and community and growth, and it's such a beautiful model. So if that's calling you, then you have options. You can either find out a way to do it yourself, or you can plug into something that's already working, where you'll be surrounded by people that are on a vibe that you can vibe with in community, so you're not alone on this entrepreneurial journey. Because the entrepreneurial journey can be lonely when we're pursuing it alone. However, when we're in community and when we can reach out to mentors and peers that are on the same wavelength and on the same vibe, then it gets much more fun. So it's really important that we continue to dive into and expand upon the value it is that we have, that we take the time to really sit down and think about, okay, well, what am I good at? What am I passionate about? What do I love sharing about? What sets my soul on fire? What would I do for the rest of my life if I didn't have to work and I didn't get paid for it? Yeah, for me, it's teaching, it's sharing what I learn, it's personal growth, it's spiritual ascension, and this is why you see me do what I do, because I love talking about this stuff. I love supporting people grow. I love sharing how I'm expanding and how I'm evolving and how I'm creating such a beautiful life for myself, because the way that I see it, there's enough for everyone. This world is abundant, and we can have everything it is that we desire, should we choose to show up and commit and take accountability and take responsibility for where we're currently at and what we need to do to get to where we want to go. And I love learning about the mind. I love learning about energy. I love learning about the body. I love learning about how limitless we are and how we can create everything it is that we want. And I continue to learn, I continue to get results for myself, and I continue to share this with people who desire that for themselves too. So I monetize on that because I love doing it and it fills me up, and I become more valuable on it because the better it gets, the better it gets, and the more we can learn, the more we can learn, the more we can learn. It's never a case of, oh, I've got there, I've learned that, it's done. No, it's continual. And the more we learn the certain pieces of value that we decide to learn, the more we become valuable as human beings, as teachers, as mentors, as leaders, as coaches, as humans, as women, as mothers, as fathers, as brothers, as sisters, as souls, whatever that may be, right? The more that we become valuable, the more people want to be in our world, that want to pay us for what we have and what we have to share, and the value that we give. And then when we're smart about it, like I said before, the more we can leverage and the more we can use automation and the more we can take up online real estate. There's a book that I'm reading at the moment and it says, there's Eric is just run through. I want to... Look, come say hello. I've just bigged you up to everyone. This is Eric. Love you. Thank you for coming home. I'm glad you're well. Glad you're safe with your eye bogey. With your eye bogies. It's funny how when you're a mum you just don't care about this kind of stuff. I'll put you down now. I love you. Whoop. So, yeah, and the more we... Where was I? Yeah, I'm reading a book at the moment. The only finite things on this planet are the land resource that we have available, and, you know, these fossil fuel resources, and our time, yeah? So when it comes to making money, there's so much opportunity when it comes to the online space, because that's infinite, right? There's so much real estate online. There's so many people that are using online. There's 4.5 billion people on social media alone. So if we're really logistical and smart about this and approach it in the very best way, we can really utilize the online space, social media, online real estate, and we can utilize automation and leverage, and also different kinds of business models with leverage of working together as people to really support ourselves and our growth and the creation of the life it is that we desire. And it's absolutely phenomenal what's available to us when we choose to pour into ourselves and make ourselves the very best person that we can be continually. Because the better it gets, the better it gets. The better we get, the better we get. And there's not an end. There's not an end. It just continues to go. It continues to go. And throughout my journey of conscious life creation, I'm 7 years deep into my journey, and there's been a lot for me to really navigate with my ego and my heart and the way in which I choose to lead myself, and letting go of any unhealthy, toxic coping mechanisms and all of that stuff that's really made me realise the importance of continuing to move forward in the journey, because there have been certain points in my journey where my ego has been, yeah, I've got this success, this is what I've got, I don't need to do anymore, and then whoop, it's either been meh, or it's gone brrr, and we don't want that, right? We want to keep going up. And yes, when we are going up, it's not necessarily always going to be linear upwards. It's going to be whoop, and spinny and all of that stuff, but that's what keeps us alive, right? That's what makes the whole journey fun. And especially when we're looking at the when we're looking at the life experiences that we're having, especially when they're hard, when we choose to look at them objectively as to, okay, well, why is this happening to me to strengthen my character? How is this bringing me back to my power? And how can I make this fun? And how can I laugh at this? Because really and truly, it's all a cosmic joke. As souls having a human experience, we've chosen this experience for ourselves, and this is why it's so fucking funny, because at the end of the day, we've chosen this. So there's a reason that we've chosen this, right? And the more we choose to learn about ourselves, the more I've personally dived into my numerology, my astrology, and my human design, the more it's really allowed me to land into my own sense of strength and surety and power. So it's really, really important that you choose to become the most valuable human that you can choose to become. And the very best time to start is now. It's now. If you want to make more money, if you want to create freedom for yourself, if you want to create happiness and health, it's important that you focus on becoming the very, very, very best version of yourself. And like I said, if you desire to generate an income being yourself by partnering with a done-for-you, automated, high-ticket online business that's proven and scalable and duplicable, the model's been around for 10 years. It's allowed myself to create my own freedom life, as well as tens of thousands of other people, multiple tens of thousands of other people. We partner with a company that's 50 years old with a 400-year career plan, and the more energy and effort and commitment and dedication that you put in, and the more valuable you become, the more money that you'll be able to make, and the income is uncapped. So if you want to learn more, reach out to me. You can go to the link in my bio and register for the free biz intro. It's the Freedom and Sovereignty bundle currently as I film this video anyway. And if you get confused, then you can message me on any one of my social media platforms. Currently, I'm most active on Instagram. So yeah, my inbox is open, and you are so loved and you are so supported, and I will see you around the internet. Bye-bye.